Hi everyone. Like yesterday, we are going to fly through another system, this time the digestive system. Don't forget to do that wiser if you haven't done it yet. Just so you guys know, if things were spelled wrong or a little mistake was made, I always, not usually, go back through and look at the questions and correct it manually if there was a mistake like that. So you don't have to worry about that. I will fix it. And then if you think I didn't fix it, let me know. All right, let's get started. So digestion is the process of breaking down nutrients in food into a form that the body can absorb and use. It involves both mechanical digestion and chemical digestion. All right, so the mouth is the first site of chemical and physical digestion. The teeth are there to mash and tear food. The tongue helps to form what's called a bolus that is moved to the back of your mouth. So it's like you're eating your food and then you kind of shape it into this thing called a bolus with your tongue. Okay, saliva is produced by the salivary glands. It moistens and lubricates the food and contains enzymes, salivary amylase that begin chemical digestion. And amylase breaks down starches. So a starch is polysaccharide of like glucose. Okay, swallowing. So when you swallow, your epiglottis is the small flap that covers the opening to the trachea. We talked about it in the respiratory system, basically to prevent food from going down your trachea. Okay, so if you flip to the very last page in your packet, there's a diagram. So if you guys could flip to that whenever you see this image and start adding the words in the boxes. Okay, so the mouth is there to break up food, to digest starch. Kill germs and moisten food. Okay, the esophagus is the muscular tube that connects the mouth to the stomach. And peristalsis is the muscular contraction that moves your food down the esophagus. Your stomach is a muscular sac-like organ. It contains continues mechanical digestion by churning and mixing the food, and it produces gastric juices. Gastric juices are hydrochloric acid and enzymes, so the pH is very low of your stomach. Lining of the stomach is covered with mucus to protect the stomach from acid. Okay, so once again, flip to the back page. Write this down. So the stomach kills germs, breaks up food, digests proteins, and stores food. That is just kind of an up close view of your stomach. It has a sphincter on both ends. And then the small intestine is next. So this is a long tube-like organ with a small diameter. This is a site of chemical digestion and also absorption. Enzymes break down complex nutrients to simpler ones, and villi are the finger-like projections that increase the surface area in the smaller intestine, which would help break them down faster. Okay, so which monomers do the following macronutrients get broken down into? So starch gets broken down into glucose. It's a complex carbohydrate, or you could say like simple sugars. Proteins get broken down into amino acids. Fats get broken down into glycerol and fatty acids. Okay, so the villi line the small intestine to increase surface area for absorption. The lacteal is the small vessel of the lymphatic system that absorbs fatty acids and glycerol. Capillaries absorb amino acids and monosaccharides like the glucose. and then transports them to the liver. All right, large intestine is the tube-like organ that absorbs food and rids the body of waste. It's shorter in length, but larger in diameter than the small intestine. And then chyme becomes feces as it reaches the rectum. Okay, so the large intestine will help with your fecal consistency. So when you have diarrhea, you have watery feces, frequent bowel movements, and it can lead to dehydration. Constipation is when you have hard, infrequent bowel movements, which can cause pain and blockage. So basically, based on that, how does the large intestine contribute to homeostasis? So it would need to allow for more absorption of water if your feces are watery, and it would need to absorb less water if your feces are hard and you're constipated. Okay, so flip to the last page. Large intestines absorb water. Small intestines break down food, the proteins, starch, fats, and absorb nutrients. And then the liver. Liver is the large organ that removes harmful substances from the body. It also produces bile. Gallbladder is the organ that stores your bile, and then bile is the bodily fluid that aids in digestion by breaking down fats. All right, and then your pancreas. We'll talk about more in the endocrine system too, but the pancreas produces hormones and digestive enzymes. These enzymes are sent to the small intestine, and it produces hormones, insulin and glucagon, to regulate blood sugar levels, to maintain your homeostasis. Hormone definition is right here. It's the chemical message secreted by one part of the body, and it binds to a receptor to produce a response in another part of the body. So this is just showing you like a cell will release a hormone into the bloodstream, which is picked up by another cell, which causes a response. Okay, so now we're on this again. So liver produces bile, which is stored in the gallbladder and helps to break up fats. Pancreas produces enzymes and to digest proteins and carbs. Okay, so insulin and glucagon. This is going to be a feedback loop that you should know. So hormones released by the pancreas regulate blood sugar. When blood glucose is high, insulin is released to decrease the blood sugar, and when blood glucose is low, glucagon is released to increase the blood sugar. Okay, so this is just another diagram. So the pancreas will release the insulin to decrease blood sugar. And then when the pancreas releases glucagon, it goes into the liver to help break down glycogen to glucose, which will help increase your blood sugar. So this diagram is helpful. Okay, so the rectum eliminates feces, and I think that's the last part. Okay, so digestive disorders. So you can have stomach ulcers, which are erosions of the stomach lining. You can have reflux, which is when stomach acid enters and irritates your esophagus. And I think that's it. Okay.